Niels Lesniewski is with Roll Call. He understands all this arcane fill-in-the-tree stuff with amendments things. All I know is that Ted Cruz just called Mitch McConnell worse than a liar. I mean, the headlines were he called Mitch McConnell a liar, but Lesniewski, he called him Harry Reid. That's even worse for a Republican, isn't it?
Niels? Are you there, Niels? Hang on, one more.
Here.
Oh, there
Niels,
he is. Hey,
I'm
Niels.
sorry. It was our mistake. What's up? Tell us what you think.
He even went further than calling Mitch McConnell Harry Reid to one extent. Later in the day yesterday, he actually said that the Senate is run by the McConnell-Reid leadership team, that the two of them are in cahoots.
Wow. So what's behind all of this, and where does it go from here? I mean, the votes were there. Mitch McConnell, the Reid McConnell team pushed this thing through, this import-export bank. But what's going to happen now?
Well, what happens from here, sort of, just in two different ways. In the substance, the Export-Import Bank will be added to the highway bill probably sometime late this evening. And by the end of the week, it looks like that the House, probably Thursday, is going to get the hot potato of a 6-year highway bill that has 3 years worth of money to pay for it. That's a whole separate issue. With the Export-Import Bank attached, just as everyone's getting ready to go out of town for August recess. So it looks like that the supporters of the Export-Import Bank are going to succeed at least in getting forcing the action by the House. Now, as for the beloved comity of the Senate, that is to say, everybody getting along and it being the way that the chamber is supposed to function, really too early to know how exactly this is going to affect it. But certainly the idea that, I've talked to any number of senators over the last few days who have said, by and large, disagreeing on the substantive point, regardless of what they think of the Export-Import Bank, disagreeing with Cruz that McConnell was misleading them.
Well, let me go to that point, because as you say, in the Senate they have their rules, they have their regulations, and Ted Cruz came out and basically called McConnell a liar, and Orrin Hatch, one of the establishment Republicans, took to the floor yesterday to criticize him. Listen to this.
No senator in debate shall directly or indirectly by any form of words impute to another senator or to other senators any conduct or motive unworthy or unbecoming a senator, unquote. When a senator is called to order under this rule, that senator shall take his or her seat and may not proceed without leave of the Senate.
Now, what was going on there is that without mentioning Ted Cruz by name, Orrin Hatch was calling out Ted Cruz, and I've seen some reporting this morning that suggests that there's going to be more of this kind of rebuking of Ted Cruz, maybe Mike Lee, when the Senate comes back in session today. Your sense?
Yeah, I think that there'll be more public rebuking. Now, I will say one of the things that came out over the weekend, we had to go back and look up that rule, because what Senator Hatch was doing there was he was literally reading a part of the Senate rules about decorum on the floor. Two things to note about it. Number one, your statement being true is not actually a defense from that rule. You cannot impugn the motivations of any senator, even if the senator is. So suppose that Mitch McConnell was in fact lying. That's not actually a defense for Ted Cruz from calling him a liar. Number two, however, is that in theory, if you actually tried to enforce the rule in question, and the punishment for enforcing the rule is being told to shut up, basically, if you actually tried to enforce the rule, you can have unlimited debate on whether or not the senator should have to sit down. So could you imagine the spectacle if they actually tried to tell Ted Cruz to sit down and he decided, I'm going to appeal the ruling and we're going to debate that now.
Here we go.
Yeah. So I got to say, so let me get this straight. If somebody in the Senate is a liar and it's proven that they're a liar, another senator can't call them a liar. That's against the rules. This is why America hates Congress sometimes. And by the way, didn't Harry Reid admit that he lied about Mitt Romney not filing his income taxes? I mean, I think it was Megyn Kelly who interviewed him, and he just said, "Well, Romney lost, didn't he? I know that's all he cared about." I mean, so how is it okay for Harry Reid to do that to Mitt Romney, and Ted Cruz can't call out Mitch McConnell?
Actual answer is the rule only applies to senators.
There we go.
There we go.
You can lie anything you want about. You can even lie. You can even lie about the president of the United States. You just can't lie about another senator.
Yeah. Well,
or in this case, Nels, you can't tell the truth about another senator.
Them.
Yeah,
but
you can't tell the truth about
true.
them if it's an accusation.
But Nels, back me up on this because I mean I covered the House and the Senate for many years, and this is unusual stuff. You don't usually see this kind of partisan bickering. Well, it's not even partisan. It's the same party bickering with itself on the Senate floor.
Yeah, we've heard. I mean, to this level, we haven't seen a whole lot of this in a long time. There is, and I will give your listeners a preview of something that's coming later today on the rollcall.com website. I went back and looked, and the last sort of similar example to this, where there was this kind of a rebuke, came in 1995, and it involved Rick Santorum when he was a senator. So look forward to that. But other than that, there's been a few examples, but it literally happens about once every 15 or 20 years, which is kind of remarkable if you look at the expanse of history.
Really fast, Nels, again, one of the things that I think frustrated Ted Cruz and other conservatives is that this Import-Export Bank got the imprimatur and stamp of approval from Mitch McConnell, the majority leader, but the Planned Parenthood defunding amendment, which a lot of senators were high on, especially after the videos that were released over the last several weeks, that sort of languished, didn't it? What happened with that amendment?
Well, what happened there was that when Mike Lee from Utah tried to call it up, again, arcane process stuff, you can't offer an amendment to an amendment to an amendment. So you can't have a third-degree amendment, and that's what he tried to do, and they wouldn't allow it. Now, I will say that there's a proposal from Rand Paul from Kentucky, Mitch McConnell's home state, to address the Planned Parenthood funding question. And that bill might be getting a vote sooner rather than later. So this may be one of these things where that frustration is fairly short-lived.
All right, good man. Thanks for giving us all the info on this and the download, and we'll look for more over at Roll Call. Niels Lesniewski.